wanted to talk to you today about marijuana. That seems to be a word that gets everybody's attention. I'm not sure why, but people really seem to stop and listen when you hear that word. Scientists have even started using the word cannabis because it sounds more scientific. But I want to discuss the medical side of marijuana. I have a lot of questions and I wanted to find some answers. So, what is medical marijuana? What testing's been done? And what does medical marijuana do? So, I've done some research. I'd like to share my answers with you. Let's start with medical marijuana. I wanted to find out how it's different from recreational marijuana. According to WebMD, medical marijuana plant is exactly the same as the recreational marijuana plants. It's basically the same plant that they use for recreational use. Dr. Sanjay Gupta is a chief medical correspondent, and he spent the last 5 years researching medical marijuana. According to a report he done for CNN in April of 2015, he said there's over 400 individual chemicals in marijuana plants, and each chemical has different reactions to the body and to the brain. Some medical marijuana is even specifically grown to cut out that chemical that causes euphoria, which didn't even know they could do that. So scientists are creating hybrid plants. A federal farm is growing some in medical marijuana farm in Old Mississippi, in Oxford, Mississippi, and they've increased production by 30-fold since 2015. That's a lot because they feel like it's up and coming, it's growing, it's going to explode. Research is very sparse, and I didn't understand why it was so sparse when you hear about it so much, but there's so little research, and it said that the reason why is because it's considered a Schedule I drug. What does that mean? I didn't know. Well, after research, I found out that LSD and heroin are considered a Schedule I drug. So, most of the research so far that's been done just really shows negative impacts to what medical marijuana is. And so it's very difficult to get a federal approval for research on marijuana because it's categorized as a Schedule I drug. So the federal rules limit what you can test for, who can test, how the tests are done. So many rules and regulations, that's why such small amounts of research has been done. And I had no idea that it was considered the same as heroin and LSD. Kind of boggles the mind, doesn't it? But there are 10 types of diseases that has shown small improvements from the small amount of tests that's been done so far. AIDS says it can help patients gain weight because you always see them as really thin. Alzheimer, weight gain, and lessens agitation. Arthritis, pain reliever. Asthma, it can help dilate their airways and help them breathe easier. Cancer, the only research for cancer has been done in animals, and it shows it can kill some cancer cells. Crohn's disease can ease the pain, help with diarrhea, help with weight gain. Epilepsy is shown on small amounts of people, 50% have a reduction in seizures. Glaucoma, it can lower the pressure on your eyes. It also helps lower the blood pressure. Multiple sclerosis, it helps with muscle spasm, pain, tremors, and stiffness. The negative I found was that heavy users tend to have an addiction rate of 9%. Alcohol, there's so many people who drink alcohol, but the addiction rate is an 8.3, if that gives you any justification direction there. Currently, there's 29 states and DC that legalize marijuana. So look at this map that I have right here. This map shows that the light green colored states have legalized marijuana. The darker green legalizes recreational marijuana. You'll notice that most of the outer states have approved some sort of marijuana use, where most of the Midwest and Southern states have not approved anything. I'm not sure why that is. That'd be an interesting thing to find out. The biggest factor of all this is that it's still illegal on the federal level. And so until things change there, you're not going to get much research to find any answers out. I feel like I've answered a few of my own questions, like medical marijuana is basically the same as recreational marijuana, just how they use it. I also found the lack of research is due to it being categorized as a Schedule I drug. The small amount of research has shown that some real positive results. And I hope I've answered a few of your questions. Thanks everyone, and have a good evening.